Chingiza ututu neba 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 ukazikona kuneti neba neba sisanka iwe neba so protect your family my neighbor. It ends with me. It ends with malaria me. Will end with malaria you. Ends with me. It ends with you. It ends me.
The Churches Health Association of Zambia, CHAZ. Ozeron Funeral Services, under the supervision of Mr. Ronald Chimpanga, the Director of Operations, offers the following services: body care, caskets, coffins, tombstones, and long-distance transport. We also provide tents, chairs, and lowering machines. Find us in Lusaka at UTH and Charleston. Contact us on the number 0976 16 1213. That is 0976 16 1213. Or contact us via our 24/7 hotline on 0975 44 2107. We also have branches in Monze, Luansha, Chongwe, and Livingstone. Ozeron Funeral Services. Come for affordable and quality services.
Time is precious. Don't waste it spending many hours on the road. Utilize the time you have to enjoy the things that matter. Visit places, visit people, visit Kasama through your gateway to possibilities. That's right. Kasama Airport has been upgraded and is now open and ready to welcome you with open arms. Contact the airline of your choice to book your next trip into the region. Zambia Airports Corporation Limited. Keep flying.
Wow, that over there is a very nice Ford. Have you seen it?
Of course. I have been looking at it since we got here. My worry is how people manage such vehicles and where they buy genuine parts from.
I'm sure there's nowhere else apart from Shuma Auto Parts. They are the only supplier of genuine Ford and Mazda parts, which comes straight from the manufacturer. They have everything in stock for both latest and ordinary Mazda and Ford. They also stock service parts such as diesel filters, air con filters, diesel pumps, steering pumps, turbochargers, engine overhaul gaskets, suspension parts, and body parts. If they don't have parts you're looking for, they can order within 5 to 10 working days. To top it up, Shuma Auto Parts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandram Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 0960 747235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The Happy World of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FMA News at 18:30 with Judith Mwape. The headlines. Demeaning language against President Hichilema by Osida annoys government. A 44-year-old Zambian sentenced to pay 60,000 kwacha for aiding and abetting 13 Ethiopian illegal immigrants. Democratic Republic of Congo opposition plans election protest despite government ban. Now the news in detail. Chief Government Spokesperson Cornelius Mwetwa has described as malicious and unsubstantiated claims by our Civic Duty Association, OSIDA, that the country's democratic space is shrinking. According to Mr. Mwetwa, the allegations by OSIDA are motivated by hatred for President Hakainde Hichilema, whom he said they least expected would one day occupy the presidency. Further, Mr. Mwetwa says the government is unhappy with the derogatory and demeaning language against President Hichilema by Osida in its recent statement. In addition, the minister says he finds it strange that Osida has continued raising the same governance issues that the government has already committed to dialogue over with the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka today, Mr. Mwetwa, who is also Choma Central lawmaker, has assured that the government will in the few weeks engage in dialogue with the Catholic bishops.
Those who want to be doing politics forever, they have the right, but they should do the right thing. Continuing to claim shrinking democratic space in Zambia is quite pretentious and highly hypocritical when you look at where this country has come from. Today, everybody, every citizen, every organization, including the media at large, enjoy their freedoms as guaranteed by the Constitution and protected by the New Dawn administration.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mwetwa says former President Edgar Lungu is a wrong person to champion the issue of good governance and the rule of law, as he was principal perpetrator of the same during his 7-year rule as president.
This is a president when he was in office, Mr. Edgar Lungu, refused to fire ministers such as Honorable Chitotera and saying he made a mistake on Chishimba Kambwidi and he did not want to repeat a mistake of firing a minister. Today, he is asking President HH to fire ministers when he himself failed to fire ministers.
The Ministry of Health has today officially flagged off the 2023-2024 Zambia Demographic and Health Survey, whose primary objective is to furnish government with reliable estimates of demographic and health indicators. The survey, which is designed to provide essential data for monitoring the health of citizens, encompasses several health areas and practices ranging from fertility, marriage, sexual activity, family planning to domestic violence. Speaking during the flag-off ceremony this morning in Lusaka, Health Minister Silva Masebo underscored the fundamental role the demographic survey plays in informing policy decisions and providing essential data for planning. The minister has since recognized the support government has received from the USAID and Global Fund, who she said have committed to co-finance the budget for the 2023-2024 Zambia Demographic and Health Survey.
These surveys have been one of the major sources of information required to measure progress over several health outcomes. It is crucial for every one of us to understand that ZDHS is a comprehensive household-based survey. It is meticulously designed to provide essential data for monitoring the health of our people. The primary objective of this survey is to furnish us with reliable estimates of demographic and health indicators.
Speaking at the same event, Zambia Statistics Agency Statistician General Mlenga Msepa says field workers from the Ministry of Health and Zamstat staff have been adequately trained for this important undertaking.
The most recent preparatory work for the survey was a main training of field staff, which ended on 17th December 2023. And the trainees comprised Ministry of Health as well as Zamstat staff who were adequately trained for this huge undertaking. Data collection teams were drawn from all the 10 provinces, and that is basically important for issue of culture, terrain, language, and so on and so forth. 22 teams have been constituted and are being deployed to all the 10 provinces for the survey.
Meanwhile, USAID Deputy Director Mission Robin Sharma has revealed that for the first time, the health survey will test HIV in ages between 2 to 14 years, which will help improve the understanding of the prevalence of HIV among children in the country.
We know that HIV epidemic 2024 ZDHS will for the first time test HIV in children of ages 2 to 14 years. This will greatly improve our understanding of the prevalence of HIV among children in Zambia and allow USAID to adjust HIV programming accordingly.
A 4-year-old boy has died after he was burnt in an inferno. Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga, who has confirmed the development, says the incident occurred yesterday around 23:40 hours in Kamwala. Mr. Hamonga explains that brief facts of the matter are that both parents to the deceased at around 23:30 hours went to park their vehicle at a named car park and also to buy candles, leaving their 2 children home, one aged 4 and another aged 8. Mr. Hamonga said it was alleged that the 2 were sleeping in the house with the candle lit. After a few minutes, the couple went back home only to find their house on fire. He said the body of the deceased has since been deposited in University Teaching Hospital, awaiting post-mortem and burial.
Brief facts of the matter are that both parents to the deceased around 23:30 went to park their motor vehicle at a named car park and also to buy candles, leaving 2 children home, one aged 4 and the other one aged 8. It is alleged that the 2 were sleeping in the house with a candle lit. After a few minutes, the couple went back home only to find their house on fire. Their neighbors were found attempting to put off the fire, and it was later discovered that their 4-year-old child was burnt while the 8-year-old juvenile managed to escape without burns.
A 44-year-old Zambian has been sentenced to pay 60,000 kwacha or 9 months imprisonment for aiding and abetting 13 Ethiopian illegal immigrants, contrary to the Immigration and Deportation Act No. 18 of 2010 of the laws of Zambia. Confirming the development, Immigration Public Relations Officer Namati Nshinka says the accused was apprehended on 7th December 2023 at Mpula, 10 kilometers from Kapirimposhi, driving a Lusaka-bound silver Mitsubishi Pajero carrying 13 Ethiopian illegal immigrants, and was later convicted and sentenced to a fine of 60,000 kwacha or in default 9 months simple imprisonment. Mr. Nshinka says 8 of the 13 Ethiopians he aided and abetted were convicted and each sentenced to pay a fine of 2,000 kwacha or in default 3 months simple imprisonment for unlawful stay. He says the other 5 were convicted and each sentenced to pay a fine of 2,000 kwacha or in default 3 months simple imprisonment for failing to appear before the nearest immigration officer. In another development, a 44-year-old Tanzanian has been convicted for unlawful return to Zambia, having been removed from the country on 17th November 2023. Meanwhile, 59 suspected illegal immigrants were apprehended in a cleanup operation conducted on 17th and 18th December 2023 in Chitumba and Sankulani areas of Vumbwe district.
Further, the Mpika Immigration Office on 19th December 2023 secured the conviction of a 44-year-old Tanzanian of Mbeya, Solomon Brown Mwakibete, for unlawful return. He was apprehended on 9th December 2023 at Mpika's Kanyelele gold mine for unlawfully returning to Zambia, having been removed from the country on 17th November 2023 following his initial arrest on 4th November 2023 with 21 other Tanzanians at the gold mine in a joint cleanup operation. He has since been sentenced to 15 months simple imprisonment without the option of a fine.
Fire has swept through a 3-bedroomed house in Kana East area, resulting in severe damage to the property and loss of household goods. The affected residents managed to salvage a few items amid the chaotic situation, including a couch, wardrobe, and tables. A swift response, which was initiated by a combined team of fire brigade personnel from the Kitwe and Mopani fire brigades, played a crucial role in containing the fire and preventing further spread to neighboring properties. This is contained in a statement issued by Kitwe City Council Public Relations Manager Mwaka Nakweti. Meanwhile, Ms. Nakweti has disclosed that a Zesco pole along the Kitwe-Ndola dual carriageway near Trade Kings Kitwe caught fire yesterday. Ms. Nakweti said the fire was promptly reported and the Kitwe Fire Brigade initiated a swift response. She said the Kitwe Fire Brigade personnel, equipped with essential firefighting equipment, tackled the blaze using one hose length, preventing further escalation and potential damage to surrounding areas. The country has, in the last 24 hours, recorded 99 new cases of cholera and 1 new death. This implies that the number of new cases has increased to 2,405 since October 2023, while the number of deaths has risen to 70. 168 persons are still admitted, while 94 have been discharged, bringing the cumulative number of discharges to 2,235 since October. According to the Zambia National Public Health Institute's National Daily Cholera Update, the affected districts include Lusaka, Rwangwa, Chilanga, Chongwe, Vubwi, Betauke, Bulungu, Mumbwa, Chadiza, and Kapirimposhi. The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia is excited that the Ministry of Education has finally abolished automatic progression of all learners from grade 7 into grade 8. Organization Executive Director Aaron Chansa says the 100% progression of learners was academically scandalous and an enemy of quality education in Zambia. Dr. Chansa says the practice was not justifiable, and if it had continued, more severe educational consequences on the standards of secondary and tertiary education in the country could have been incurred. Meanwhile, Dr. Chansa has expressed concern over the capacity of government to handle the grade 7 candidates who have failed to make the academic mark into secondary schools. He fears that the future of the more than 137,000 candidates who failed following the overcrowding in existing classes and the clear lack of centers for vocational training.
It was academically scandalous to allow even those that did not know anything about reading and writing. It became torturous and almost impossible for secondary school teachers to handle such illiterate learners. Now that only those that have made some academic mark will go to grade 8, we see this as a progressive move. It is going to promote academic competition and ultimately improve the quality or the caliber of candidates for grade 8.
In a related development, Zambia National Education Coalition Executive Director George Hamusunga has expressed displeasure with the sudden change in the subjects that were considered for passing grade 7 examinations in 2023, which has brought about unnecessary speculations in the candidates, mainly due to limited access to information. Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali has expressed sadness over the death of 13 people who were involved in a road traffic accident that occurred in Serenge on Tuesday. Mr. Tayali, who recently launched the Road Safety Awareness Campaign, has since called on the Road Traffic and Safety Agency to further intensify road patrols and carry out sensitization programs during and beyond the festive season. He says the accident could have been avoided had the driver of the truck followed traffic rules. The minister has further called for effective motorized patrols being conducted countrywide. Mr. Tayali is concerned that compliance levels have become low, adding that the only way the citizens will get the message is through RTSA getting on the ground. He is, however, optimistic that with time and continued presence of road transport and safety agency on the roads and the carrying out of awareness messages, the compliance levels will improve. This is according to a statement issued to 5FM News by Ministry of Transport and Public Relations Officer Ndubi Mvula. In other stories trending this evening, Zambia's sixth president, Edgar Lungu, has accused President Hakainde Hichilema of shielding his ministers and other senior government officials from corruption allegations, while at the same time proclaiming that there will be no sacred cows in his fight against graft. A joint team of officers from the Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency and Chongwe Municipal Council is this week expected to dispose of 36 by 50 kilogram bags of expired urea fertilizer valued at 32,400 kwacha. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In a bid to complete the government's efforts in advancing the digital economy and promoting financial inclusion, African Grey Insurance Limited has announced the launch of the motor online sale platforms to enable their customers to purchase motor insurance through digital platforms. Speaking during the launch in Lusaka today, company managing director Geoffrey Chirwa indicated that the public can now easily purchase motor insurance without visiting their offices or intermediaries. Mr. Chira also emphasized that customers can pay for their insurance using debit or credit cards as well as mobile money platforms. Meanwhile, Mr. Chira has revealed the company will be launching a new comprehensive insurance software in January 2024, which aims to streamline their operations by digitizing most processes, thereby reducing operational costs.
After this launch, members of the public will be able to buy our motor insurance without necessarily visiting any of our offices or indeed those they are prepared intermediaries. They will also be able to buy road tax online, as the Road Transport and Safety Agency has also been selling road tax online for some time now. I also wish to announce that we'll be launching a new comprehensive insurance software from the 1st of January 2024, which will enable us to reduce on the cost of doing business, as most of our operations, including filing, will be digitized.
And officiating the event, Chartered Institute of Customer Management Executive Director Dominic Manhundu says Motor Online initiative will enable the company to engage in real-time interaction with a wider audience. Mr. Manhundu commended the company for this initiative, saying it will help unlock growth opportunities and reinforce their customer relations.
Further, I assure you that everyone here that the way we have chosen this very effective customer engagement strategy in the digital age yields increased customer retention and loyalty, higher customer satisfaction rates, improved brand reputation in advocacy, enhanced understanding of customer needs, and most importantly, increased sales revenue.
From Radio Business News, we mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And now in foreign news, opposition candidates in the Democratic Republic of Congo's presidential election, in which early results show the incumbent with a large lead, plan to march in the capital on Wednesday despite authorities banning the protest. 5 opposition presidential candidates informed the governor of Kinshasa in a letter published on Saturday of their intention to organize the march. Afterwards, Martin Fayulu, one of the main challengers to President Felix Tshisekedi in the December 20th election, had said to opposition candidates who had called the joint demonstration over alleged election irregularities would proceed with the march because they were convinced the vote was a fraud. Here's a roundup from the BBC.
The Democratic Republic of Congo, Martin Fayulu, says several people have been wounded when police dispersed supporters gathered outside his party's headquarters in the capital Kinshasa. Opposition politicians had called for the demonstration after rejecting last week's general election, which was marred by delays. A senior Ukrainian military commander has told the BBC that the fighting in his country next year could be even more difficult than this year. In a rare interview, Alexander Tarnavsky acknowledged difficulties in areas of the east and the south. The influential German politician Wolfgang Schäuble has died. He was 81. The Christian Democrat served in Angela Merkel's centre-right government for 8 years as finance minister. He backed tight fiscal policies during the Eurozone debt crisis, to the anger of some indebted countries in southern Europe. He was also twice interior minister. Police in Pakistan have rearrested a senior opposition leader as he was about to leave prison in Islamabad. Shah Mahmood Qureshi, who's a close associate of the former Prime Minister Imran Khan, was detained after being granted bail in another case.
And finally, in sports news, police are investigating an alleged racist remark aimed at Luton striker Carlton Morris during his side's win at Sheffield United on Tuesday. Morris came off the bench to play a pivotal role in 2 Blades own goals in 4 minutes in a 3-2 win. In response, Sheffield United reiterated their zero-tolerance approach to racism and said they were assisting police. The home side fought back from 1-0 down to lead 2-1 before the 2 own goals helped the visitors move 6 points clear of bottom of the table. And now, the weather report brought to you by Classic Econ.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Most parts of Zambia are mainly cloudy and mild with isolated rains and occasional thunder. That ends the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
And that item brings us to the end of the news this evening. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. Demeaning language against President Hichilema by Osida annoys government. A 44-year-old Zambian sentenced to pay 60,000 kwacha for aiding and abetting 13 Ethiopian illegal immigrants. Democratic Republic of Congo opposition plans election protest despite government ban. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Judith Mwabe. Good evening.